Planet Dolan.
From random proposals to desperate rescue notes, we count 8 shocking and unexplainable messages found in bottles.
Number 8.
Long distance friendship. During a Hawaiian cruise in 1979, Dorothy and John Peckham put notes asking finders to write to them in empty champagne bottles and throw them overboard. They even included money for postage. 4 years later, the couple received a letter from former Vietnamese soldier Hua Van Nguyen, who said he found their messages 15 kilometers from a shore in Thailand while escaping Vietnamese communist regime. This meant the bottle had traveled 9,000 miles. The Peckhams corresponded with Hua for years, sharing milestones like births and weddings, and they even worked with immigration to get Hua's family to America. Makes you realize how much we take Facebook for granted.
Number 7.
Romance in a bottle. An unlucky in love, Casanova in search for a wife. Don't despair. Get off RussianBrides.com and listen to the story of OK Viking, a Swedish sailor who left to search for love up to fate. OK wrote a letter that simply said, "To someone beautiful and far away," then corked it in a bottle and tossed it overboard in the hopes that it net him a young woman to marry. It's a bit like leaving crab traps. 2 years later, OK received a surprising reply from a Sicilian girl named Paulina. "I am not beautiful, but it seems so miraculous that this little bottle traveled so far and long to reach me that I must send you an answer," she wrote. The two became regular pen pals, and 3 years later, OK moved to Sicily to marry her.
Number 6.
Message found during hiking trip. In Oakland, California, 69-year-old Larry Wright discovered a message in a rusted canister during a hiking trip to Sequoia National Park. The message had been written 40 years earlier by a teenager named Tim Taylor, who requested that anyone that found it would respond to it. It took Larry over a month to find Taylor. He went through public records and visited Tim's former residence, but had little success until he reached out to a local paper called the La Canada Valley Sun. The newspaper wrote about Wright's discovery, and the story eventually got back to Taylor, who was by now a Superior Court judge. Taylor had left the message after abandoning his Boy Scout hiking troop to climb the 12,000-foot peak alone. He'd picked up the habit of leaving messages in bottles from his father.
Number 5.
Message from the dead. In 1995, 10-year-old Hellraiser Josh Baker dumped a bottle of his mother's vanilla extract down the sink so he'd have something to put a handwritten note into. His note mentioned his name and age and requested that its finder put this on the news. Josh then rode his bike over to Wisconsin's White Lake and threw the bottle into the water. Years later, Josh became a Marine and survived a tour of duty in Iraq. Tragically, he died in a car accident not long after his homecoming, leaving his loved ones devastated. Months later, Josh's friends fished something strange out of White Lake by chance. A vanilla extract bottle containing the message from 10-year-old Josh. This message from beyond the grave came at just the right time and helped Josh's family and friends to move on. It reminded Josh's parents that their son is still with them.
Number 4.
Auschwitz prison message in a bottle. In 2009, a letter written in 1944 by 7 Auschwitz prisoners was unearthed by a Polish construction crew. Workmen were renovating a cellar near a former Nazi construction campsite when they discovered the note rolled up and hidden in a bottle on a concrete wall. The note was written on a small paper scrap from a cement bag and contained the names, camp numbers, and hometowns of the prisoners, all of whom were aged between 18 and 20. The note was verified by historians, who suggested the young prisoners simply wanted to leave some record of their existence behind. It's now part of a public exhibition.
Number 3.
Rescued from pirates. In 2011, a crew from a hijacked Italian cargo boat was saved by passing British commandos after sending their rescuer a message in a bottle. The captured crew were trapped in the sealed part of the ship as it was overrun by the bloodthirsty pirates. Not long after throwing their note into the water, 2 NATO ships arrived and Special Forces officers stormed the ship and freed them. The crew members were obviously shaken up, but were unharmed. The pirates were arrested, and the message in a bottle received the Medal of Valor.
Number 2.
Hex in a bottle. Now for something completely different. While strolling along the beach at Oceanside, California, Reddit user Mariah KI13 stumbled across a message in a jar that creeped her right out. The jar was full of a strange pink liquid, which when drained, revealed a folded piece of paper tied with a black ribbon. Unfolding the paper, Mariah realized it was actually a washed out photo of a woman in pink. The photo had been pierced several times with pins, which may indicate that this was an attempt at casting a curse or hex.
Number 1.
Delayed message in a bottle. The current oldest message in a bottle was one of 1,020 bottles thrown into the sea between 1904 and 1906 years ago by scientists at the Marine Biology Association in Plymouth. The message was discovered washed up on a beach in Germany by retired postal worker Mary Ann Winkler. The bottles were part of a project to study deep-sea currents and were designed to float just above the seabed. Nowadays, the association continues this research, but uses technology like electronic tags. Most of the bottles from the experiment were found within months, but this one took 108 years. Now this is shocking. Well guys, hope you enjoyed this video. Peace.
Did you enjoy the video? That's fantastic. Did you know we still have a gaming channel, Collaborative? It's for Planet Dolan. Come look at us as we play some video games.
Like animation? Have some questions about life and the universe you need answered? Come check out Super Planet Dolan. Danger Dolan and I will answer your life questions. Links are down below.